Miss Fox, and welcome back to my kitchen in Idaho. Today we're going to be making a main dish item, and that item is going to be stuffed pork chops. So let me just go over the ingredients that we're going to be using today to do our stuffed pork chops. Of course, one of our main ingredients is going to be Philadelphia cream cheese. You're going to need to have about 4 ounces of Philly cream cheese, and so you can just cut your brick right in half. We also are going to be using about a half a cup of grated Parmesan cheese. We've got some dried cherries. We have some button mushrooms. We have some regular sausage, some chopped Granny Smith apples, and some breadcrumbs to bind this, a little bit of onion, and we have 2 big, beautiful pork chops. So why don't we get our onions chopped up here. We've got a couple of green onions. We're going to give a quick chop to those, and then we're going to go right to frying our sausage. And this is a really nice recipe if you are crunched for time, which we all are, and you would like to make these ahead of time. So let's take our onions and our sausage and head on over to our fry pan and get started with that. We're going to go ahead and add our sausage and break that up just with your spatula. I have a half a pound of ground sausage, so we're going to get that going. And in a few minutes we're going to heat up our grill pan, and when we heat this grill pan up, it's going to make the pork chops have those beautiful grill marks on them, but we will be finishing them off in the oven. So I have my oven preheated. So I'm going to grab my green onions and put those in. As we get ready to do that, we're going to chop some other things up. So come on around the other side. And we have a 1/4 cup of dried sweet cherries, and I like to just give these a quick rough chop. We've got those cut, and I'm going to go ahead and slip those back in the bowl. Remember, that's about a 1/4 cup of cherries. And then we also have some Granny Smith apples cut up. This is about 3/4 of an apple. Then we also want to cut these fairly thin, and so we're just going to give them a rough chop like this, and we'll bring everything back together and kind of go back over it. And I chose the Granny Smith apples because they hold up really well when you're baking. They also have that nice tart flavor, which is going to complement our dried cherries really well. And we'll go ahead and put that in here. I also have 2 large button mushrooms that I've chopped in here. I have already grated the amount of Parmesan I need. You can use pre-grated Parmesan cheese, or you can grate your own. I prefer to grate it. It has such a much nicer flavor, a lot stronger. And if you use Parmesan cheese and you're cooking with it, be careful not to do too much salt, because this is a very salty cheese. We're going to be back in just a minute. As soon as we get the sausage cooked, we're going to assemble everything and show you how to put it together. So you come on back in just a few minutes. Okay, we're back. Our sausage is nicely browned. We're going to go ahead and add our other ingredients. We're going to add our mushrooms, our rough chopped cherries. We're also going to add in about a half a chopped apple. So put that in. As you can see, it's a rough chop, but it's less than a bite size. And we're going to saute this for just a few minutes. One of the reasons we need to do this is so that we can reconstitute the cherries, and so that we can have our apples have a nice soft texture to them. We're not looking for a crisp apple to bite into on the inside of our pork chop. Okay, so that's looking pretty nice right there. And we're going to go ahead and add in our cream cheese. Remember, this is 4 ounces of cream cheese. And this just breaks down very nicely and holds everything together. It adds a really nice, rich flavor to what you're doing here. Not to mention it brings out the redness of the cherries. And this just melts in beautifully. But we do need something that's going to be a stabilizer for this, that'll hold it together while it's inside of your pork chops. And so that's why we use the breadcrumbs. So we're going to mix this around just a little bit more. We're almost there. It just only takes a few minutes to do this. And all these flavors blend so well together. And what is a pork chop without a little bit of applesauce? So you're going to have that just right inside your pork chop. Okay, so that looks very good. And we're going to go ahead and add in, this is a half a cup of breadcrumbs. And this binds it real nice, makes it so it'll stay together inside of your pork chop. And then I am just a sucker for Parmesan cheese everything. And I think it just gives it a little brightness to the dish. So let's get our Parmesan cheese in here. Pre-grated this. Of course, you can use the pre-grated. There's nothing wrong with that. And we have our pork chop stuffing right there. This is so delicious and so fast and so easy. All right, we're going to come back and meet you on the other side as we get ready to stuff these delicious pork chops. So we'll see you in a couple of minutes. Okay, welcome back. We have our stuffing together in our bowl. We've already stuffed one pork chop, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how I did that. Just lay your pork chop open like that. Your butcher should be able to do that for you. You can see the beautiful Philadelphia cream cheese. So push that as far full as you can. You've got your apples, your cherries, your breadcrumbs. It just is going to be a taste explosion in your mouth. Push that down in. Then you're going to need a couple of toothpicks to close this so it's nice and tight. Just remember to take your toothpicks out before you serve it to your guests, because that would not be good. You could use 2 or 3 toothpicks depending on how full you stuff this. All right, and we have our pan semi-heated up, so let me turn the flame on under that. And our oven's ready to go. And like I said, you could grill these outside if you wanted. You can completely grill them on a grill outside, or you can use one of these grill pans in your home. And you like this to be fairly hot, and my pan is pretty hot right now. So we'll go ahead and lay these beautiful pork chops on the grill. You can hear the nice sizzle on that. And when you're cooking a steak or a pork chop or something that you're grilling, make sure that you do not use a fork to flip that over. You don't want to pierce your meat because you will let all the juices out of it. So we're going to let that cook on one side for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then about 2 to 3 minutes on the other side, and we're going to finish those up inside. And you need to invest in a pair of tongs if you're going to be grilling, because you definitely do not want to be piercing your meat. So when we get back, we'll be ready to put these in the oven, and in about 20 minutes we can eat them up. So we'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, welcome back. We're just about done with the grilling of our pork chops. We're going to go ahead and take those and place them in our pan to finish off the baking. We'll turn this off. And as you can see, they look pretty terrific. When you cook pork, it needs to be at 170 degrees when it's done, and you need to have no pink meat left. So we're going to put these in a 375 oven for about 20 minutes, and then we'll be ready to serve them up. So we'll see you back when they're coming out of the oven. Okay, welcome back. We've just taken our pork chops out of the oven, and they are beautiful. We did the internal temp on them, and they are 170. So we're going to take them out of the pan. If I can open my tongs. Lay them on our plate. You can do these with the bone in, or have your butcher do them with just the loin part and take the bone out. Then we're going to quickly just do a nice garnish on them. We've got some parsley here to lay across the top to make them look extra pretty and nice. And since we have the apples on the inside, I thought it would be fun if we finished off with a little bit of apple out to the side. And then, of course, the last thing to do is to hit them with just a little bit of Parmesan cheese. So we know we have that on the inside. And then we'll take our knife and our fork and give it a try, see where we are with this. So we can open that up and show you our beautiful stuffing on the inside. And take a bite, see where we are with this. Get a little bit of stuffing with it. You're going to love it. These are apple, cranberry, Philadelphia cream cheese stuffed pork chops, and we hope your family loves them too. They're delicious.